Kristen, the training manager at 760 Fitness, and I'm here to talk about tension release and mobility training with my dear friend, also coworker, our manager here, Paris. Today we're going to demonstrate with a couple different modalities to release tension. We're going to work on specific muscle groups like the TFL, the IT bands briefly, and then the quads. That's the most common places we find tension in the lower half of the body for most individuals. When you go to your TFL, you want to measure the distance between your pelvic bone up here and then the hip bone. So right in between there is that muscle, the TFL, that you can either use a foam roller yourself, use a lacrosse ball, or you can even have a friend take a rolling stick. You're going to press in between those two bones, press down the muscle, communicate with your friend, ask him how does it feel, see if you can find the point with the most tension. It's going to be the most tender. And you're going to apply a little pressure gently, and you can also tilt forward or tilt back depending on where you carry the most tension. After that, you can run down the IT band, which usually the TFL, if it's really tight, you'll have tension in the IT band as well. You can take your trigger point therapy modality and you can run down that same IT band, applying pressure to different knots all the way down till you get just above the knee. Go ahead and flip on your back. We're going to do our quads. So for the quadriceps, you're going to have them lay comfortably, or you can lay comfortably, have a friend roll you. You're going to start up by the hip flexor, work your way down the length of the quad. When you do this, you're going to apply pressure on a knot, and you can ask, is there a knot there? No? Okay, so we're going to roll down. So release tension, move down, press in a little bit more firmly, and then work your way down until you feel a knot yourself or the person you're rolling or whoever's rolling you. It can help you with that. Yep. Find a knot right there. You'll apply pressure and you'll ask and communicate with them, is that too much pressure? Okay, perfect. So you will slowly work your way down, all the way down to just above the knee. If you're using the foam roller on yourself, you can do the same thing. Get to the IT band, get to the TFL and the quadricep. So you're gonna feel out where that pelvic bone is and that hip bone. You're gonna place the ball or foam roller right in that space. You're gonna lean into it, gently bend the knee and apply pressure. Okay, you wanna try that on the foam roller? So right in between that space, yep, stacking your hips. And if you need less pressure, you can always bring that leg right back in front of you. But making sure you have a slight bend in that knee to release tension on that muscle, and then hold it there. You can either tilt forward or tilt back to find where you have a knot and where that sensitive spot is, where the tension is. At least you found it. And then hold it there. Try not to roll. Just hold it there for about 30 seconds to a minute until you feel it slowly release. Perfect. And if you want to work down your way down the leg through that IT band, you can do that as well. For the quads, there's two ways you can do this yourself. You can lay with the foam roller at your hips and then slowly roll down your quadriceps, or you can isolate one side at a time. So let's start with both legs. Laying on the foam roller, being in a nice plank position, but your legs are relaxed. If you need more pressure, you can switch to one leg, but you'll slowly roll forward till you hit a point of tension, and you'll hold that point of tension for 30 seconds to a minute to get that myofascial tissue to release, okay? All right, gently switch to one leg. So you'll kick one leg to the side, and then isolate one thigh to get a lot more tension, a lot more pressure on the foam roller if you need more pressure. Good. Again, holding it for 30 seconds to a minute. So here. So you have your foam roller tucked right at where the hip joint is. You're pressing, rolling toward that hip flexor, and then you're slowly rolling up your thigh, getting that quadricep to slowly release. You want to try to angle your hips closer toward the ground if you have more tension in the center of your quad. And if it's more on the outer quad, you want to roll your hips open toward the room. One of the points of tension in our body, we hold a lot of tension in our lats for our overhead movements, okay? So the best way to do that is with a foam roller. You can use a trigger point ball or a rolling stick, but you have to be very careful of the floating ribs here. We never want to go past where a woman's bra strap would be or the base of your chest is, okay? So you want to come on over here? Go ahead and face me this time. I know. All right, so you're going to place the foam roller right underneath your armpit, right in the crook of your arm. You're going to stack your shoulders here. Start with the shoulders stacked. If you don't feel any pressure, you can slightly roll back to get a little bit more pressure in where the terrace is, and you'll slowly walk your body up toward the foam roller to get into a more tender spot. And again, you can roll forward and back to feel out where the tension is in that lat. Okay. But again, you don't want to roll past where a bra strap would be, because that's where we get into the floating ribs through here, and we don't want any of those to crack or break with our body weight. If you need more tension, you can always lift the hips gently to get a little bit more pressure. All right, perfect. Good job. Yeah, you didn't need more pressure. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me today for some mild fascia release and foam rolling. These techniques are so beneficial for weightlifters, for general athletes, and even those of us that have desk jobs. It helps to release tension in our joints, relieves pain, and makes general daily movement better, and it helps your alignment so you can actually build muscle and proper form and posture and alleviate pain throughout the rest of your life.